que tú oyes el clamor del quebrantado. Por tu llaga en la cruz fuimos sanados. Sobre toda enfermedad tú has sanado. Y mi vida está en tu mano.
Tu palabra dice que tu muerte en la cruz fue por salvarnos, que perdonas y redimes del pecado.
is time for Yes with Yesse. Please welcome your host, Yesenia Leyva.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hola, hola, Pastor Akil, Pastor Joy, good evening. Thank you for joining Yes with Yesse. It is Thursday. Thursday. It is May 1st, guys. Sister Annie, good evening. Brother Darren, good evening. Everybody, thank you for joining. And as you come in, guys, share the broadcast. Let others know that we are here. Share the broadcast on this awesome Thursday, just to get ready to join you guys here on Yes with Yesse. We're just going to talk a little bit of this, a little bit of that, as the per usual. And I do have a topic for you guys tonight. I always relate my life experiences and what I go through my day to day in hopes that it will help somebody, in hopes that it gives somebody light to know that it's possible, that if I can do it, if others have done it, then you can do it too. That is the goal, and to know that you're not by yourself. You know, that you're not the only one that has ever lived this situation or gone through this particular situation. And you won't be the last person. And this is just going to be one situation out of many more that we're going to live for as long as we keep living, right? So therefore, we have to do the best that we can, have faith, pray, and understand that God changes things and things will get better. But in that process, what does that process look like? How do we do that? How do we work with different things that perhaps we have not encountered before, or maybe nobody around us has encountered whatever it is that we're going through, so they don't know, they're not familiar of how to help us, navigate that system or get through that particular situation. And so I think that happens a lot. I know for a fact that happens a lot for people that live with differences and disability, and perhaps other things that are not necessarily related to disability, because I always like to emphasize that although as Yes with Yesse, I focus on disability, I focus on my story, which is about living and being born with a disability. But my hope is that anybody, absolutely any person, can use different things that we talk about on the show for their life experience, to relate to their life experience the best way that you can, learn from it and see, okay, how can I use this for my life? Right? How can I use this for my life, my situation? I like say situation, it's kind of weird, or whatever it is that you're going through, right? So we're going to talk about it. I labeled or named the show Access Granted. And so we'll talk about, what that means from an emotional perspective, from a perspective of our thoughts, mind, body, and soul. It all connects together, right? So, what you give your mind access to, you're giving your whole body access to as well. So we're going to talk about that and just a couple other things. And so in the meantime, as we get started, please share the broadcast. Let others know that we are here. I am very much enjoying the new look to Yes with Yesse this evening. So thank you to the media team for your help in this awesome change in our background. I love it. It makes me feel like I'm, I'm reporting live from Lauderhill, Florida. Seriously though, I love it. So thank you guys. And take a moment, guys, share the broadcast, let others know that we are here on Yes with Yesse. And we're going to get started on our topic. So I'm going to play a song for you guys very quickly so that you guys, again, take that moment to share the broadcast. Buenos días, buenas noches, buenas tardes, de donde nos estén escuchando. Creo que veo a alguien ahí de la República Dominicana. Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros from all the way from the Dominican Republic. And so share the broadcast, guys. That's what it's all about. We are global. We are worldwide. Advocacy, inclusion of individuals with disabilities, information and resources globally, worldwide, as well as talking about topics that nobody talks about. That's what I do. That's my hope. Let's talk about things that nobody talks about and get it out of the bag and find solutions and things and work together for the good of one another, of each other, and be there to support one another, of course. So I'm going to play this song. And again, do me a favor, share the broadcast and let others know that we are on here with Yes with Yesse. our God. I love that song. One of my absolute favorite songs. They're all my favorite. Haven't you noticed that? They are all my favorite songs. But love music. Love music speaks. Sister Carol, good evening. Good evening. And yes, please share the broadcast as you come in. Good evening to everybody just coming in here on Yes with Yesse. We're going to go ahead and get started on our topic this afternoon, evening, or morning, de donde nos estén escuchando. Buenas noches, buenos días. Vamos a empezar. And access granted. Access granted, and what that means from a perspective of someone living with differences, disability. Sister Helena, thank you for joining. Good evening. And more than anything, what do we allow? What do we give access to? Enter to our body, to our souls, to our minds, all of that. What are we giving access to? What thoughts are we giving access to? What mindset are we giving access to? What emotion are we giving access to? I think that is super important, because what we give power to is important, right? You can give power and access to the negative, like you can give power and access to that which is positive. So what are we choosing, and how is it affecting us? And at the end of the day, you know, a lot of the I want to say the negative turns into the trauma, right? So any traumas or any anxieties, you know, it's more of what happens inside of us based on what happened externally. It's based on what happens inside of us, based on what you have lived and what you have experienced, right? So whatever situation we have lived or experienced, like I always use myself as an example, living with a disability and everything that came with it, you know, I have to evaluate what has all of my experiences, medically, denials, rejection, the therapies, the surgeries, the lack thereof, all of that. What has that done to me, you know, on the inside, more than it has done to me on the outside. On the outside, you can see it. You can see my cane, you can see my walk, you can kind of see all that, right? But what you cannot see is what all of my lived life experiences has done to me, if you will, on the inside, based on what I have experienced. So with my personal life experiences and the things that I have been told growing up and as a child, things that my parents were told for me or on my behalf, if you will, that I was not aware of, or that I was not literally able to understand or know because I was so young. I was just a baby. All of that influences and affects as well, because whatever they were told and whatever their belief became based on what they were told, based on their experiences, then kind of was brought down to me. It was brought down to me. So there comes a point where we have to figure life out, you know, keeping in mind that not only are we living with our thoughts, emotions, whatever those might be and all that, but we're also kind of carrying, in a sense, the mindset and the emotions and the rejections and everything that our parents went through, or, you know, whoever it is that you that raised you, in a sense, throughout life, right? So then it becomes a combination of our thoughts, our minds, our mindset, our everything, but also that which was given to us from our experiences and growing up with our parents, or whatever the case may be. So my life experiences, what I've been told, have kind of conditioned me, right? And the same goes for everybody else. That kind of has conditioned me to think a certain way. And so I think that in my case, in a sense, naturally, taking away the positivity and the good things that have been instilled in me and all of that, I think that from the beginning, from a society perspective, I had been in the past, not now, had been conditioned to think in a negative way by society. Why? Because again, they tell you what you won't be able to do, that you're not going to live, that you should be institutionalized, that, you know, if you do live, you know, you're not going to live very long, and you're going to be handicapped, and you're going to, all these negative things. So already society is conditioning me as an individual with a disability, and so many others, to think negatively about our quote unquote life, or quote unquote situation that we have been given, that has been, you know, given to us to live. And so the same then goes for, you know, for me, those experiences and those mindsets and that sense of rejection and that sense of, disability is a negative thing. It's terrible. It's no good. So now you took time, so many years to grow from a business perspective, to learn so much, to train, to be trained, to get certified, to soak yourself in all different kind of disability related services, that it's hard to grasp sometimes. It used to be harder than it was now, but it's still a little hard to grasp sometimes. Like, okay, I have made a conscious decision, me, Jesse, I have made a conscious decision to soak myself in all things disability, use the very thing that has been used against me in a sense, from a societal perspective, to make that my living, to make that my life, to make that my goal, to make that my dream, to help other people with disabilities the same way that others have helped me and provided for me as far as services, information, and all of that. So part of the traumatic experience is using, again, that which society deems so negative and so horrible, and deciding to make that a huge part of my life. And so I'm also using that which was so traumatic, in the life of those around me, of my parents, of my siblings, or whatever it might be. I'm using that experience, or I'm using that thing, that disability. I don't think the experience per se, but I'm using the disability that I was born with, that became a different experience for them, as parents and siblings, etc. I'm using that very thing as my life. Like, I'm using that very thing as my career, as my business, as a way of changing lives, of inspiring, of motivating, of helping. I'm using that. Does that make sense? Somebody say something. Tell me if that makes sense. I'm using the very thing that was traumatic for a set of people that are very important in my life. I'm now using that to make it, to make an impact. And it's a huge part of my life. And I think that that's awesome for me. But I can understand, and I see how hard it is for those around me, and for those that don't know me per se, but it is not a good experience in their mind. It's not a good mindset, as far as the word disability, what it means and what it portrays to be in society today. It's not positive, right? So how is it that you're using something that is not positive in this world, that is not positive in society, that is not positive in the government right now, because we are hanging by a thread as it pertains to services and things like that. So how is it that you use this thing, this subject, this matter, and and it becomes such a big part of your life, of my life, to live, to make a living and to make an impact? That's something that's very difficult, I can only imagine, for the other side, for the receiving side that might not understand where I come from my perspective, and why it's so important to me, right? And so, even though I had been conditioned, in a sense, from a society perspective, to think that this thing called a disability is so negative, I was also raised to be very positive, and you can do it, and you got it, and never quit and never give up. And so all that empowerment and positivity has helped me, has developed me, and got me to where I am today, and gave me that positive perspective and that positive mindset to say, you know what, I can do this. And if I can do this, so can somebody else. So can you, right? So it all has to do with the mindset, the living experiences, or the experience lived, as well as the mindset, to get me to where I am today, to say, I'm going to make this my business, and I'm going to make this a big part of my life. It's not all of my life 100%, but it's a huge part of my life. And so I say all that to say that in my mind, after all of these experiences and everything, all right, Lord, access granted, this is what you have for my life. You want me to use my experiences and what my life lived to help other people? Awesome. I will do it. And I have been empowered. I have the knowledge. I have had the mentorship to get me to where I am. And yet right now, you know, we can get ourselves in a point in our lives where we still let fear interfere with our success. Not because we don't think we are, well, partially because we don't think we're capable 100%. One, and two, because the experience that we lived has some kind of trauma to it, some level, rather, it has some level of trauma to it, that we tend to focus too much on the trauma and the negative part of it, or the negative aspect of that story, versus the positive. And so that's kind of where the trauma comes in, or of like, oh man, am I going to make it? Am I going to survive? Am I going to make it? And am I going to be successful? Is anybody going to, you know, embrace this this business? So many things go through the mind, not because I don't think I'm worthy of it, or not necessarily because I don't think I can do it. I know I can. I have been. But more than anything, the fear of the traumas lived, of the fear of other people, of like, are they going to receive it? Are they going to see me worthy of it? Are they going to see me as qualified? Because there's so many so-called, so many, you know, services and providers, and, you know, am I going to have competition? So there's all these like internal questions that when we ask ourselves when we're doing something that is so meaningful and so big, and in such a big magnitude that can change lives, all because we doubt ourselves, and because there's some kind of anxiety or traumatic experience that we have lived that we start to question, right? So again, imagine living your life with this thing called a disability, something that society has deemed as not good, negative, and all these things, and you decide to make that which has been the hardest thing for you and your family, you have chosen to make that your life. You're living like a huge part of your life. It's tough. And so that brings a lot of thoughts, that brings a lot of self-sabotage, that brings a lot of doubt, that brings a lot of things, if you let it. If you let it. I'm choosing to keep it moving. I mean, I got to keep going. I started it. I got to keep going. But there are moments where you go through those moments of denial, or of not denial, but those moments of, can I do this? Of doubt. Can I do this? Is this for me? Like, am I doing the right thing? Like, what am I doing? Because you get so in your head and so in the thoughts of what others have said, and the doctors and all these different things that we talked about, that you start to question. And so recently, you know, as you guys know, I have my business, of course, partially what we're talking about, and it concentrates on disability programs and trainings. And what we do is provide services to all people with disabilities to connect them to the resources, services, and benefits that they need in the community to be the best version of themselves, regardless of the disability, regardless of anything. You know, it's your only requirement is to have a disability. All right. And so again, that really relates 100% to my personal story. And my story is how I got into this business. And so someone recently referred me several clients. When I say recently, super recently, somebody referred me several clients, and I was grateful. I'm like, thank you. Thank you, Lord, because the person that referred me these clients is one of my clients. Her son is my client, and we worked on different things, and she was, you know, she was happy. She's happy. And so she went ahead and she referred me a handful of clients, and I panicked in that moment. You know, we had this great conversation, and I'm like, yes, thank you. You know, great conversation. I hang up and I panicked. I'm like, my brain just started racing. Like, what am I going to do? It's, you know, it's just me. Like, all these things. It's just me. Am I going to be able to do this? Like, I was scared. Like, again, I'm not even going to like put sugar on it, because I was scared. I was like shaking, you know? And so I had a moment of, OMG, it's here. I'm really doing this. And then I had a moment of, can I do this? Is this for me? am I qualified? Like what am I doing? All because it's happening. And one person is referring me several clients at once because they believe in what I'm doing. They believe in my knowledge. They believe it was helpful for them. So that alone is the biggest compliment in the world. But still, we can have that person believe in you. We can have that person helping you. We can have that person sending you clients. We can have that person providing whatever it is. And yet we still have that fear. Like, can I do this? Like, what's happening? And there's no it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense to ask ourselves, can I do this? Like, people are believing in you and that you do it and providing for you and opening doors for you and all these things. And then we're still asking ourselves, can I do this? Yeah, you can. Like that's my mindset now. Like, yeah, you can. But during this process, I was really like scared, y'all. I was like, oh my gosh, can I do this? And I had this sense of nervousness, and I was a little shaky, only because I think it was mainly because it came quick. It came like at once, and it came quick in a sense when I saw my phone and have all these calls and people I have to call back and do the intakes, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I think it was because it came quick. It became quote unquote unexpected, and I'm like, oh wow, like I have to do this. Like someone told me when things got real, like, are you gonna do this or not? And I was like, okay, and I'm doing it. So that was awesome. So we're talking about access granted, right? So at that moment, I have that option of, am I granting anxiety to come into this portion of my life right now? People are referring me clients, and I have work, thank God, and I have things to do and all that. So am I gonna like grant access to fear and anxieties, or am I gonna grant access to favors? Yes, favor and blessings. Thank you, Pastor Joy. That's a decision that I have to make and get through it, work through it, and you gotta get over that anxiety real quick because these clients, they need you now. And if you don't reach out and if you don't act quickly, you're gonna lose them. You lose clients, you lose money, right? And you lose the opportunity for other clients to come in. As I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I was going through all these emotions. A very familiar voice said to me, literally in a conversation, this is what you wanted. If you can't do it, get help or do something about it. Like 1, 2, 3, do something about it. I'm like, okay. And at that moment, it was a moment for me to like shake it off like immediately, because I can't dwell on that feeling of anxiety of, oh my gosh, of can I do this? No. So when I heard that voice and then they said, this is what you wanted, I was like, yes, absolutely. This is what I wanted. This is what I have been praying for. This is what I have been preparing for. This is what God has been using my destiny holders, my gatekeepers to lead the way and to make ways for me where I thought there was no ways. And so, yeah, I have to do this. And so what is it that you have right there that maybe, there's a situation, there's a business or something that maybe you are the one sabotaging that experience for yourself because of that fear. And so for me, I need those people in my life to be like, get it together, snap out of it. You need to do this. And kind of help me to process that. Like, why, once I hear that, it's like, I have to process in my mind, okay, why did I just freeze? Why am I nervous about this whole thing? Why am I doubting? Like, I know I can do it, like I'm doing it. Right. And so, it was tough. It was tough. But when I heard this, I was like, well, that was the end of that moment of feeling anxious or uneasy. That was the end of that one, because I had to snap out of it real quick and find solutions to do it. So I was like, yeah, I got to get help. I have to continue working on developing a team, because when you're just one person, it does get to be a lot. It gets to be a lot. And I thank God I'm not just one person. I have, people helping me along the way as well. But sometimes with the clients and all that, it does feel like it's a lot. So I do need to do what I have to do to get the help, because more clients are going to come. It's not going to stop, because God's not going to let it stop. We're going to succeed in this. God's going to make it happen, as he has been doing. He's been providing. So I can either stay in that fear and that anxiety, freeze and not do anything at all, or be like, okay, I need to find more help now. ahora mismo. I need to find more help now. I need to do A, B, C, and D so that when this, this next flow of this amount of clients comes in, I'm not super nervous, freaking out, thinking like, oh my God, the world's over or life is over because this is happening. No, it's a blessing. It's amazing. And I know the work and they can definitely, get the help. But it was more about me feeling a sense of a fear of that, that feeling of, oh, it's here. It's here. Right. And I realized thinking about it, like I knew I wanted to talk about it and I'm thinking about it and I'm, doing my notes and all that. And I think I'm not going to cry. Okay. I think that there's always a reason, right? As we're talking, there's always a reason why we feel that anxiety or we feel that fear or we feel that feeling, whatever it is, when we're doing something. And one is because it is bigger than me. This particular business and everything that I'm doing and what we're talking about, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than life itself for me because it's my passion. It's something that I love very, very dearly. But also when you think a little more, when you think a little deeper than that, why is it that I am fearful of it? Why? Why is it that I'm fearful of it? Why is it that I cringe sometimes at the thought of it's here, it's happening, it's gonna happen even bigger, and I know it, and I see it, and I'm working towards it, and I have support, and I know it. But I can tell you honestly that when we have that fear and when we have those anxieties, if we want to call it that, and when we have those moments of I can't do this, there's something in the back of our mind that is leading you to think like this. And for me, I've probably shared the story, but for me, about 3 years ago, I lost some very important people in my life. And one of those was my very first mentor. My very first mentor that got me into the disability world, that provided or that educated me and provided me with the assistance that I needed to be equipped with the services that I needed for myself from a disability perspective. And this is how I learned, literally, this is how I learned 99% of what I know now. And when this person passed away 3 years ago, we were working on so much. He taught me so much. We were working on business. We were doing so many things that when he passed away, I was like, I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do now? Anytime somebody passes away that they mean something to you, it's hard, it's difficult. But this person, somebody that taught you so much, your mentor, an everyday person, someone you always called when you had questions, someone that believed in you so much to help you, start to develop a business and the knowledge and all of that, and they're gone. And I'm like, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? Who am I going to call when I have a question? Who am I going to call when I have a question about something with Social Security that I don't know? Like that, he was that person. So my fears and my anxiety and all that, also, that's the, how do you call it? That's the root, right? The root of when I have these moments of like, OMG, what am I going to do? Because that person's no longer here. So in my mind is like, again, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? Who am I going to call? Like, I can't call him anymore. And that is the root cause, but that's not an excuse. Like, I still have to do it. Yeah, he's no longer here, but he equipped me with the information, the education and everything that I needed to get me to where I am today. He gave me that push. He believed in me that much to give me that push into this business and say, I believe in you. Here, you got this, keep going. And had taught me everything that I know pertaining to disability and all these things. And here I am feeling, anxious and stuff because that person's no longer here. What am I going to do? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to use everything that I taught you. I can like hear him. I can hear what he would tell me if he were here. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to keep going. You're going to use what you learned. You're going to use what you've learned in everything I made you sit in, because he literally would make me sit in every orientation and every training and learn all of these things. You're going to use all of that to succeed, to be successful, and to help the people, and to follow your passion. That's what you're going to do. And here I am thinking about the fear and that I'm not going to make it and all these different things. Like, so we have to be very careful of the thoughts that we give access to, that we grant access to in our minds. Your thoughts become your reality. So I know now that I can't dwell, if you will, or I can't stay and sit in those thoughts of, that person's not here anymore, or, the loss, even, because it's something that I live with every single day, as much as life goes on, right? And so I have to overcome all of that. So, what is it that you're going through? What experiences that you live through, maybe losses, maybe, whatever it is that you feel might be having you stuck where you are right now and not allowing you to keep going and to get to your end goal. And I know for me, it's an everyday, it's a daily work. It's daily work to keep going, to keep pushing, to get up, to go to work, to work on my business every single day, to see those clients, to get more clients, events. Like, it is every single day. It's a fight every single day. I don't like the word fight because it sounds weird, but it's every day, and it's in spite of the loss, the person's not being here, the fact that maybe, you still have more work to do to believe in yourself. So I have to shift my mind from all of those things that can delay my progress and delay my work, and focus on what I do have. Focus on what that person did give me, and that was so much. Focus on the end goal, right? Focus on the end goal, but also focus on the process that it took me to get to where I am. And I literally cannot afford to give up. When I think of it, I'm like, I've been through all of this. I did all of this. I came this far. I didn't come this far to only come this far. There's no giving up here. And so that's my mindset when I'm like, back to my senses. That's my mindset. And so, we go back to don't quit, not giving up, don't panic. I'm grateful that when I had that sense of anxiety and shaking because my mind just went somewhere else. I was at church, and someone said to me, you got to keep it moving. Get the help that you need, but you got to keep it moving. All right. Well, that's the end of that one. That was the end of that one, right? So all in all, what are we doing to stabilize those thoughts? What are we doing to grant access to the peace that surpasses all understanding, the getting us to be level-headed in our thoughts? Who's in your corner? Who is your community? Who is pushing you and motivating you? And sometimes when they push you, it's not going to be pretty, but they're pushing you because they care, and they see, a lot of times they see what you don't see in yourself. That's a whole nother thing. So many see in me what I don't see in myself. Somebody said to me the other day, we were in a studio, and she's like, we were talking about Yes with Yesse. And she's like, she said something, and I'm like, she said something about a brand, right? About brand this and brand that. And we're talking about Yes with Yesse. And she's like, yes, girl, embrace it. That's your brand. Yes with Yesse is your brand. And I was like, all right, that's my brand. So sometimes it takes somebody else telling you something like that for you to embrace it. Like, yeah, that is my brand. That's a brand that I developed with all the work that I do and everything, and it's on a shirt. Yes with Yesse. And we have this show, Yes with Yesse, right? So she's like, yeah, it's your brand. So sometimes it's hard to embrace those things about ourselves until somebody else helps you to see those wins and those successes are yours. They're a part of you. And it's important that we embrace it and that we know that we are worthy of it. Because we are worthy of it. We worked for it. So, never underestimate the power of you, of your talents, your skills, your abilities, what you can do. Don't underestimate your process. Don't underestimate the power of God in your life, your faith, your ability to shift your mind. Change your mind, change your life. Change your mind, change your life. But how can you get there? So for me, it's been, as I always talk about, community. Community is absolutely everything. Community, mentorship, faith, God, church, believing, praying, learning. It takes a lot to be teachable. To be somebody that is teachable, that you are willing to learn, that takes a lot. And you are teachable and you learn and you are taught every single day, because life is the book of life, right? You are always learning, always changing. And so it's very, very important. Remember to stabilize your thoughts. Stabilize your thoughts. Always remind yourself why you started. Always remind yourself why you started and why you wanted what you wanted when you started. You started it for a reason. So always go back to that reason and your why. That becomes your why. And when we're thinking about those not so good things, why me? I'm not going to make it. I'm going to fail. How about we change that from a negative to a positive? Shift your thoughts and give access to the positive. Shift your thoughts and give access to the positive, and think about, what if it does work out? What if it does work out, Jesse? What if no, because it is going to work out. But for those that are not there yet, what if it does work out? What if you do get what you're requesting? What if you can do it? What if you are successful? What if the people continue to send you more clients? What if you can do it? You can do it. So let's not self-sabotage ourselves into the negative, because we are able. We can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. So therefore we can do every single thing. And that is a constant reminder. It's like, literally at this moment, I'm planning an event, right? And I'm planning an event, and it's a little harder because I'm more involved in the event. So it's harder to plan it because I'm more involved in the event. Yet every other event that I plan with Funclusion and expos and other things, they're super easy because I'm planning it for other people. I'm planning it for the models. I'm planning it for the community. But when I'm planning something that has more to do, where I'm more involved in it, it's like, ooh, why is this so hard? So I'm getting help from from others to help me plan this particular event, because it's harder to plan, right? It's harder to plan. And it's harder to plan this because it's kind of a self-celebration, right? A celebration maybe of accomplishments. It could be a celebration of something that has to do with you yourself. So it's harder because it has to do with your self-worth. If my mindset, if the self-worth of myself doesn't match my mindset, it's going to be hard to plan something that has to do with me, because it's like, why are we doing this? Why am I involved in this? I don't deserve this. Well, yeah, I do. I've worked for it. I do. But that's a mindset shift that I have to have in order to better plan this particular thing, because I'm involved in it. Right? So we have to shift our mindset to make sure that we know that we matter, that we do have talent, skills, and abilities, that we do have the ability to get the help that we need. And all we have to do is just do it and believe. Literally pray, believe, and do it. That's all we got to do. And sometimes that is too hard. So I hope you guys learned something. I know it was a lot, but I feel like it was good. It was a good conversation, and I know that that I learned a lot, to be honest with you, and just the experiences lived, the experiences in the last couple of days. I mean, every day is a different experience. Every day is a chance to learn something new. And so I have done just that. So play this song for you guys. I love it, of course, because you guys will see why. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Thank you for being a part of Yes with Yesse this evening. And I hope you have shared the broadcast. Please, if you haven't done so already, if you can share the broadcast, and you never know who this can help. All right. You never know who it can help. So share it for me, and I will be right back.
Soy prueba de lo que la gracia de Dios puede hacer. Si supieras lo que yo sufrí, podrías ver lo que ha hecho en mí. Cambió mi vida y me transformó. Eso es lo que hizo la gracia de Dios. Ahora cuento yo la historia de cómo Él me salvó por su misericordia y la sangre que vertió. Aunque no lo merecía, su perdón me regaló. Su misericordia y la sangre que vertió. Oh, la sangre que vertió. Pensaba que no merecía otra vez por lo que hice yo, lo que dije yo y cada mala decisión, muerto estaría hoy. Oh, por la gracia, más por la gracia de Dios. Ahora cuento yo la historia de cómo Él me salvó por su misericordia y la sangre que vertió. Aunque no lo merecía, su perdón me regaló por su misericordia y la sangre que vertió. La sangre que vertió, mi Señor, fue mi cruz que llevó nuestro Salvador. Y ahora yo libre soy por la gracia de Dios. En la tumba enterró todo mi pecado y me redimió por la gracia de Dios. Fue mi cruz que llevó nuestro Salvador. Y ahora yo libre soy por la gracia de Dios. En la tumba enterró y me redimió por la gracia de Dios. Ahora cuento yo la historia de cómo Él me salvó por su misericordia y la sangre que vertió. Aunque no lo merecía, su perdón me regaló por su misericordia y la sangre que vertió. Por su misericordia y la sangre que vertió. Por su misericordia y la sangre que cruz. Yo la merecía, pero Él me salvó, Él me rescató, me liberó, solo por su gracia. Oh, 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 solo por su gracia. Alaba al Señor, dale gracias al Señor, solo por su gracia. Oh, 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 solo por su gracia, solo por su gracia, solo por su gracia, solo por su gracia. Oh, oh, ¿quién me puede dar perdón? Solo de Jesús la sangre y un nuevo corazón. Solo de Jesús la sangre. Una vez más, ¿quién me puede dar perdón? Solo tu sangre, Jesús. Renuévame, Señor, y un nuevo corazón.
So on that note, guys, thank you so much for joining us with Yesse. I look forward to seeing you again next week, next Thursday, on another episode of Yes with Yesse. All right, so happy Thursday. It is Fun Friday tomorrow. Fun Friday, yay. Come back tomorrow morning for In His Presence prayer time at 6:30 a.m., followed by the Pastor Steve show, all right? And it's going to be a great time, of course. And then we look forward to seeing you again back on Saturday for Saturday morning prayer. And, of course, see you on Sunday here at New Season Worship Center for our 11 a.m. service. If you are in the area, you've never been here before, 4660 North University Drive in Lauderhill, Florida, 33319. That's 4660 North University Drive in Lauderhill, Florida, 33319. We are here on Sunday for our Sunday service at 11 a.m. It is our church home. You don't want to miss it. So you don't have a church home? Come on over. We'd love to have you here. All right. And again, I look forward to seeing you guys next week on another episode of Yes with Yesse. If you or anyone you know is in need of services for anything that you see on the screen, and for those of you listening on newseasonfm.com, you need advocacy, you need government benefits, Social Security, retirement, information, resources, things to do in the community for an inclusive life with those we do life with in the community, independent living skills, mentorship, women empowerment. You need a speaker, you need employment services. Visit Yes with Yesse, yeswithyesse.com, and DPT Management, dptmanagement.org, or just, hey, contact us right here, and I would be more than happy to help. All right. Just know that you are not alone. We live in this community together. We do life together, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So on that note, have an amazing rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday on another episode of Yes with Yesse.